This is the all-new 2022 Lexus LX600 F Sport. The LX has been completely redesigned from the ground up for the 2022 model year, and it's on a new platform. And the Toyota Sequoia and the Toyota Tundra also share the same platform as the LX600. This exterior color we're looking at is known as Atomic Silver, and I actually think it looks pretty good on the LX. Overall, this vehicle really stands out from the rest of the competition. It's more luxury oriented than its other competitors such as the BMW X7. Powering this LX is a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that produces 409 horsepower and 479 pound-foot of torque. It is paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy numbers are 17 in the city, 22 on the highway, and 19 combined. The previous generation had 14 mpg combined, while this current generation has 19 mpg combined, which is a 36% increase in fuel economy. All LX models come with full-time four-wheel drive, adaptive variable suspension, towards the limited slip differential, and integrated tow hitch with an 8,000-pound towing capacity. See right here in your door panel, you do have 3 memory seat settings. All your seating controls right there. And this LX600 does have the circuit red semi-aligned leather interior. Now here's the 8-inch digital gauge cluster. I like the design of it. It does look pretty good, but it could be better. Now here's your steering wheel. It is the 3-spoke leather-wrapped S-Sport steering wheel. And you also have paddle shifters, which is nice to see. You have Sport emblem right here on the bottom of the steering wheel. And here on the left and right sides, you do have all of your controls to interact with the digital gauge cluster and the infotainment screen. You can also control the driving aids through the steering wheel mounted buttons. Here's your infotainment system. It is a 12.3-inch display. And here's the navigation. Pretty responsive. I like the colors. It's very subtle. No loud colors or anything. You have your radio as well. A phone. Car. Some of the trip information and vehicle alerts. And all of your settings. It really reminds me of an Android device. So yeah, nothing much to say about the infotainment screen other than it's pretty good. You have 2 emblems right here. You have the 7-inch infotainment screen, another one, to control the climate controls, the rear differential locks, all of this. It's like Infinity's dual screen design, but not exactly. You have this weird sliding control for the fan speed. But thankfully, you do have physical buttons for the temperature. You have quad zone climate in this vehicle, but which means that the driver, front passenger, and both rear passengers do get their own climate control. You have your drive mode selector. There are 6 drive modes to choose from, including Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, Sport Plus, and Custom. The drive modes also appear right here on the infotainment screen, which allows you to not have to glance down at the instrument cluster. Instead, you can just look at the infotainment screen and you can see what drive mode you're currently in. Here are the 360 parking cameras. So let's get the first view. So it's just a more detailed and precise view that you don't hit any curbs or bump into any small and fragile objects. Here's a more overall view of the vehicle. This isn't as detailed, it's just a brief view of the whole vehicle. You can see most of your surroundings pretty good, but there might be things that are under the vehicle that you might not be able to see with this type of camera view. There's also settings right here, and you can turn on and off the cornering view and the view under vehicle view as well. If you like, you can customize this camera system to your liking. You can change the exterior color to match the exterior color of the vehicle itself. Here you have the crawl mode button and the 4-wheel drive knob as well. There is also a ample cubby space right here to store a cell phone. Here are your heated and ventilated seat controls. The driver and the front passenger gets heated and ventilated seats. These buttons are nice to touch. And there's also USB-C and a USB port to the right. And moving our focus back here to the left, there is a 12-volt power outlet right there. There's also a heated steering wheel, which did heat up quite quickly. Here is your gear shifter that controls a 10-speed automatic transmission. If you wish, you could shift the gears manually. Not a fan of this odd looking trim, I'm going to be honest. You have your electronic parking brake, brake hold, and here's the 4x4 differential lock, as well as the traction control button and the air suspension buttons. There are two cup holders right here, the wireless charging port, and a cooled glove box, as you can see, and it does open both ways like this, which I think is pretty cool. Like that, the passenger and the driver can open it easier. Here's a quick look inside of the glove box, and I have to say these semi-aligned leather seats are extremely comfortable, extremely supportive, super soft, super plush, amazing seats. You have 3 garage door settings right here. The lights up here, they are LEDs. All of your sunroof controls and SOS buttons. Here is the sunroof. Pretty nice sunroof. But what I did find disappointing is that it's not a dual panoramic sunroof. It's just a regular panoramic sunroof, which is quite disappointing considering the price point of this vehicle. The main cabin is excellent. So now let's go ahead and check out the rear seats. As we hop back here into the rear seats, you can see this LX does not have the captain's chairs. You also have this sunshade right here for the rear passengers. Some nice red leather right here. I am 5'6", and the room back here is actually pretty good. Obviously, it's pretty good since it's such a large vehicle. And you do have 2 air vents back here. And both of the passengers in the second row do get their own climate controls. So basically, this vehicle has quad zone climate control. And There's also heated and ventilated seats for the rear passengers. Rear passengers are basically pampered with these luxurious features back here. Very nice to see that. And if you wish, you can also access the glove box from back here. Here's the armrest, which is very nice and soft and supportive. And there are cup holders right here, but unfortunately I cannot access them because there is a piece of tape covering the cup holders. Right here you do have two LED lights. And here's a view from the second row. Let's go ahead and check out the third row. It's fairly easy to access the third row. Just press that lever and the seats will fold. And it's very easy to access the third row. As I mentioned before, I am 5'6", almost 5'7", and I have plenty of room back here considering this is the third row, and I'm actually pretty comfy back here. You have the USB port right there and a decently sized window. There's also an LED light back here. And here's what it looks like from the third row. Now let's go ahead and check out the cargo space. As expected, there is a power lift gate. There's not that much room behind the third row, but if you're planning on not utilizing the third row as much, then there is plenty of space back here to store many items. If you need even more storage space, you can fold down the second row seats as well, and you'll have a ton of room. And as expected, there is a 3-prong homestyle outlet back here. Overall, there's lots and lots of room in this very, very spacious SUV. Press that button and the tailgate closes. And that sums up this review of the 2022 Lexus LX600 F Sports. Overall, the new LX is a superior contender in its class.